Welcome back. Property worth millions of naira has been destroyed by flood in Dampa community of Ibi local government area of Taraba State following heavy downpour. The rain struck late on Saturday night with a consequent flooding, rendering many of the residents homeless and forcing them to seek refuge in IDP camps or relations apartments in the upland areas. No loss of life has been reported, but many of the victims say the rise in water level is the first of its kind in the area. They're also asking the government to assist them in rebuilding their homes and to provide relief materials to cushion their hardships. In the meantime, residents of Ogbaru local government area of Anambra State are appealing to the state and federal government to intervene in the flood menace that has ravaged their communities. The Anglican Bishop of Ogbaru Diocese, Right Reverend Prosper Ama, says the flood has taken over the entire cathedral, making it almost impossible for worshippers to attend church service. Meanwhile, the officials of the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, and the National Emergency Management Agency have been visiting some local government areas, asking residents to relocate to any holding centers across the state.
This is the Cathedral Church of St. James Atani, the headquarters of the Anglican Diocese in Anambra State. But for the flood that has taken over the premises, many parishioners would have been seen all around the church. The only means of getting out of the cathedral is by canoe and then walking through flooded parts. The bishop appeals for urgent intervention, suggesting the immediate dredging of the river Niger.
We are appealing under God to federal government to do something urgently. Issue of dredging of the river Niger, I think is time they do that. Once they do that, all these things you see now will disappear.
The river Niger has overflowed its banks such that nearby communities in Anambra East and Anambra West local government areas are the worst hit. Streets turned to rivers, families displaced and school children having to wade through flood water to go to school.
Both my bed, my chairs, my clothes, my kitchen, those things in the kitchen has been lost. Everything I have. Even my machine, I did not see it because it come overnight.
Upon receiving a distress call, a combined team of the Anambra State Emergency Management Agency and the National Emergency Management Agency visits the area to assess the situation.
It is very difficult to take them to the emergency shelter. We have been trying to persuade them, let us move to the emergency shelter where they will be taken care of. They prefer, so most of them prefer to stay with their relations in the upland. So that's the situation we find ourselves now. But very soon we'll devise another means on how to evacuate them to the emergency camps.
Right now we have come for assessment together with SEMA and Red Cross. But what we want to do is that if we go back to our office, we will now inform them the situation of things.
The impact of the flood is one that residents of the affected communities will have to live with for some time. Ironically, the children appear unfazed by the grim situation as they play in the water with so much excitement.
As the November 16th governorship election builds up in KOGI State, the governor, Yahaya Bello, has been receiving more support, the latest coming from political foes from the Audu Faleke political group. Handing over members cutting across the 239 wards in KOGI State to Governor Yahaya Bello in Lokoja, the state capital, the leader of the political family, Mr. James Faleke, says the decision to team up was based on the interest of the party to galvanize votes for victory at the polls.
Faleke has decided to drop whatever differences he has with His Excellency.
An announcement many wondered if would ever be made, but it has, and there is applause from supporters in this hall. It's a reconciliatory meeting between factions in KOGI State, one side fielding the group of late Prince Abubakar Audu and the other of Governor Yahaya Bello, who had broken ranks in 2015 following the sudden death of Mr. Audu, who was coasting to victory.
Ladies and gentlemen,
In the words of Mr. Faleke, the reason for their presence is greater than what made them stay away in the first place.
We are here because we love you. We are here because we believe in the word of God that says power only comes from God. Your Excellency, what happened in the past to us is in the past. We only look forward for a better future. And we know you qualify to deliver a better future for the state.
Emphasizing the need for peace, the Nasarawa State Governor is pleased to bear witness to this event, adding that this will be progressive for Kogi State and its neighbors.
Today I'm happy that this family of the father of politics in this state, the late Audu and Faleke family, are coming together to support this gentleman. By doing that, we are actually paying our dues to take this state from the level where it is to the next level. APC!
An excited Governor Bello is shutting the door to all that transpired, preferring to build on what this present moment means for the future of politics in the state.
KOGI has moved beyond ethnicity. KOGI has moved beyond class difference. KOGI of today and what we are building, my brother, is KOGI of unity, oneness, irrespective of who you are. So long as you have capacity to contribute in one way or the other, come on board and serve with us.
With this move, Progressives Congress has sent a message to contending parties, its intention to win at the polls come November the 16th.
The Niger State government says it is set to commence surface dressing of 230 kilometers of rural roads as part of efforts to boost agricultural activities. This comes as farmers continue to grapple with the challenge of transporting their farm produce to markets due to bad condition of roads. According to the state government, an estimated 728,891 rural dwellers have already benefited from the rural access and mobility project since inception. Our correspondent, Emperor Simon, has more.
This is what a typical rural road looks like. Dusty, pothole-riddled and narrow. Access to mobility for rural dwellers remains a major challenge in Niger State, especially for the mostly farming population. The farmers say most of their produce go bad because they are unable to get them to markets.
The life is very, very difficult because what you have in the farm, the crops and other things, the water will pack them away. And at the end of the day, you will not find anything in the farm again. So it's very, very difficult for us in this environment here.
We did this side now. Both of our fathers, we get farm, but something where we go carry it, come, enter again to sell. That be our problem because road no good.
In 2018, under the Rural Access and Mobility Project, Governor Bello flagged off the construction of 403 kilometers of rural roads at Kampanin Bobi in Mariga local government area and other parts of the state in order to reduce travel time. This time, the state government says it plans to commence a 6 billion naira surface dressing project of some rural roads, in addition to also pay its counterpart fund for the third phase of the rural access and mobility projects.
Kutigi the Suteshia will be paved. Where Kante Tutasha Road will also be paved. And the idea is to give these roads, for them to be durable, is to guarantee sustainability. We all know the nature of earth roads and the kind of intensity of rainfall we witness in the state. And that is what informed the decision of the governor to provide this whopping amount of money to subsidize some of these roads.
What the farmers and residents of Gurara, Suleja, and Edati local government area of Niger State hope for is to have access to mobility with visible impact on their major source of livelihood, agriculture. Emperor Simon, Channels Television News.
And now to the arts. The Work of My Hands is a solo exhibition by contemporary artist Chinyere Akachukwu at a gallery in Lagos. We see the images she presents on Art Review tonight.
A lawyer by day, a teacher during her free time, and an artist at night. That pretty much sums up Chinyere Akachukwu, who talks about how dear creativity means to her.
Art is freedom of expression. Art is doing whatever you want to and finding a way to externalize it. Art is beauty, but then depending on who. The Works of My Hands is the title of my exhibition. I just wanted to sort of show everybody the works of my hands, literally, like all the artworks I've been painting, and just to sort of get family, friends, and I guess well-wishers to come and see all my pieces.
She has a long list of people to thank for being able to balance a career with numbers and colors.
Art is very consuming, and law is twice as consuming. But the thing is, I work at Kenya Partners, so it's a super... the work-life balance at that firm is fantastic, so I just always have time to come back home and unwind. And the thing is, if you like doing something, time will always be there. If you don't like it, then you'll find an excuse. So it's not that difficult. You sacrifice time for what you want to do.
Pushing out many gifts spring from the good book, which encourages everyone to utilize all God-given talent.
I've always known how to draw. I've always been a very good, one of those children that you see with charcoal and paper. But I would definitely say that I was inspired by, it's actually more of a religious, feeling. I feel I have the talent of drawing, and why not sort of try to improve upon it. And there's this parable, the parable of the talents. It's one of my favorite verses in the Bible, and I just feel if I have skills, why not just try and do something, use it to pass across a message, build it and be better.
Unlike most of her colleagues, she actually has her favorites, even though these are all the works of her hands.
My favorite piece is called Swimmers. It's so basically it's a picture, a painting of swimmers trying to reach somewhere. We don't know where they're going, but we know they're going somewhere. The message I'm trying to pass across in Swimmers is hard work and determination is really all you need to succeed in life, and sometimes good luck. So in Swimmers, you have the swimmers just swimming towards a goal. They're not looking left or right. They're minding their own business and trying to reach their goals. And I think that's how life should be. You shouldn't really care about what the next person is doing. Focus on your own goals. Be determined, work hard. If you look at the painting, you see they look they're very stressed, very focused on just getting somewhere. We don't know where they're getting to from the painting, but it just motivates me when I see it. And then when I did it, I felt super happy. That was the happiest I've ever felt when I painted something.
This bundle of talent is evidence that one can achieve all they want. Just conquer the doubt in your mind.
Still ahead on the news at 10, world number 3 Roger Federer defeats Alex de Minaur to win his home tournament in Basel. That's some sports news. Stay with us.